Hello everyone and welcome to episode 4 of Bucs Insider Live. And today, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be taking on the Carolina Panthers in a Thursday primetime game. But before we get to the game, let's check out the scores from around the league. Sunday, the Cardinals and the Ravens went to a head-to-head matchup and the Baltimore Ravens won that one 35-17. Cowboys and Redskins also faced off where the Dallas Cowboys lost 28-31. Colts and Titans. Colts walked away with that one with a 10-point victory over the Tennessee Titans, 31-21. A lot of games played in week 2, and let's move further down the list. Chiefs and Raiders. Oakland Raiders surprisingly take that one with a 3-point victory over the Kansas City Chiefs, 33-30. And in an intense rematch, the Los Angeles Rams beat the New Orleans Saints 35-20. We also had a blowout victory for the Denver Broncos 22-3 where they beat the Chicago Bears. Let's go back to that game where the Los Angeles Rams and the New Orleans Saints played. The Rams had 438 offensive yards gained compared to the Saints' lowly 261. The Saints' run game wasn't that impressive either, only putting up 47 yards on the day. But this man right here, number 16, quarterback for the Rams, Jared Goff, threw 4 touchdowns, 307 passing yards, and only had 1 interception. Drew Brees only threw for 214 passing yards and had no touchdowns or no interceptions. Now that's over, let's look at the standings from around the league this week. Browns lead the AFC North, or in fact tied with the Steelers with a 1-1 record. Moving on to the AFC East now, we have the Patriots with a 2-0 record. Jets, Dolphins, and Bills are all 1-1, 500 record. Patriots still dominating the AFC East, and that should be the same narrative here in this season. Moving on to the AFC West now, we have the Broncos, Raiders, Chargers, Chiefs in that order. Surprisingly, the Kansas City Chiefs are the 29th ranked best team in the NFL and have gotten off to an 0-2 start. I'm pretty sure they're going to change that around as the season head along further. In the AFC South now, we have the Colts ranked as the second best team with a 2-0 record, and the Jacksonville Jaguars also with their new quarterback Nick Foles have a 2-0 record behind them as well. Let's go on to the NFC side of things now. In the NFC North, we have the Bears, Packers, Lions, and Vikings. Vikings have just been on a steady downfall after losing their quarterback, or in fact signing Kirk Cousins to a huge deal. NFC East, surprisingly with Dwayne Haskins at the quarterback position, the Redskins have gotten off to a 2-0 start, while the Cowboys, 15 ranked best team, started off 1-1. Still a lot of football games to be played, so we're going to have to see how these standings shape out during the regular season. Rams, ranked as the number 1 team in the NFL, have a 2-0 record as expected when you're the number 1 team in week 2. 49ers, are 1-1. In the NFC South, the Saints are 1-1 after they lost that game against the Los Angeles Rams and are ranked as the 21st best team in the league. In a couple moments, we're going to head down to the practice field to get a couple words from our coach.
Let's go. On the hop, fellas, on the hop. Who wants it? Let's see some hustle out there today. Got a big game this week. Come on.
Man, that was pretty darn good. And you know what really gets me excited? The fact that I know we can get better. You guys have so much room to improve still. That is exciting. Let's go out here and next practice, let's improve.
Now let's head to setting up our game plan against the Carolina Panthers. Breshad Perriman felt like he could have been the best receiver on the team and felt like he was primed to have a big game against the Carolina Panthers Thursday night. After last week's performance against the 49ers, Breshad Perriman felt like he is one of the best receivers on the team. And he definitely proved that last week, and he wants to have at least 2 receiving touchdowns or 100 receiving yards on the day. With a short schedule upcoming, we had the option of to emphasize rest or to emphasize preparation. Bruce Arians went with the decision to rest the team and make sure they're prepared to play the Carolina Panthers Thursday night. The Carolina Panthers have multiple X factors on their team, and one of them is Luke Kuechly, probably the best middle linebacker we have in the NFL today, so we're going to definitely need to game plan around him. Basically, the game plan is to just stay out his way and distract them from his assignments. Another X factor on this Panthers team is Christian McCaffrey. We need to do our best to try and slow him down, but if he breaks out a big run, that is just something that is just going to happen, but we have to do our best to try and neutralize him. Contain the box, make sure he don't get around the edge and bust off those big runs. Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers last week lost and are looking for a victory here against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Cam Newton is another guy that needs to have a make or break season this year. With the Panthers drafting Will Grier in the past draft, the pressure is on Cam Newton to perform at his best. While over on the Tampa side, they played an awesome game last week. They controlled the tempo, they stuck with their game plan, and they made sure Jameis was comfortable when he was throwing the ball. Although they didn't put up a lot of points, at the end of the day, they still walked away with a W. One of the guys the Tampa Bay Buccaneers should look out for is Darrell Williams. Last week, in that regular season opener for the Panthers, he gave up three sacks he gave up against the Los Angeles Rams. On a side note, the gameplay footage got corrupted, so for a majority part of the game, we're going to be looking at replays, but there is actual gameplay in this game. So let's get right into it with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Carolina Panthers. 3rd and 3 from the 29-yard line, Christian McCaffrey gets the handoff for about a yard, making it 4th down, and the Panthers will have to punt. 6:54 remaining in the first quarter, and Jameis Winston takes the drop back, looking for a receiver, rolls out to his left, and is taken down. That is a loss for about 8 yards there. On that following play, the Bucs are faced with a 3rd and 13. Winston in the pocket again and goes down for another sack. That is a loss for about 8. 4:16 remaining in the first quarter, and the Panthers are into scoring range, but they get stuffed right up the middle trying to hand it off to Christian McCaffrey. After kicking a field goal, the Panthers now have the lead 3-zip. Buccaneers have the ball back, and that is a completed pass to Cameron Brate along the sidelines for a 1st down. Bucs, using all the time available to them, runs a quick screen pass to Breshad Perriman, gets around the edge and is tackled, but is tackled after the 1st down marker. Beginning of the second quarter, Jameis Winston in the pocket throws to a wide open Chris Godwin across the middle of the field, and he makes his way inside the 5-yard line. The Bucs are moving down the field with confidence. Faced with another 3rd down, Winston takes the snap, throws it short to Breshad Perriman, got to get into the end zone as he stiff arms the defender and gets in for a touchdown. Buccaneers have the lead and the Panthers have the ball back. Pass thrown short to Christian McCaffrey coming out the backfield, and that is a gain for about 16 yards. Panthers in 3rd down trouble again. Cam Newton finds his man Torrey Smith on the outside, picks up 27 yards and is pushed out of bounds, but is in scoring territory. The Panthers would later score with Christian McCaffrey on a 20-yard running touchdown. This pass is completed to Chris Godwin over the middle of the field again, putting the Buccaneers into scoring position. Less than a minute remaining in the first half. Play action. Jameis now rolling out to the right side of the field. Throws it deep. That is Chris Godwin again, and he gets his way into the end zone. The 2nd passing touchdown for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers tonight. Opening up the second half, the Bucs have a 14-10 lead, and this is a Sean Wilson run going for 21 yards with about 8 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Bucs would make it all the way inside red zone territory, where Jameis Winston will try to take off and try to dive for the end zone, but ends up losing the ball and falls right in the hands of Luke Kuechly. 1st and 10, 20-yard line. Shotgun, Newton in the pocket looking for DJ Moore and completes the pass to him. That goes for 15 yards and a new set of markers for the Panthers. 3:09 left in the 3rd quarter. Pistol formation. Handoff goes to Christian McCaffrey. Block is set up. No one in front of him, and then it's just a foot race to the end zone. McCaffrey will score 7 points on this drive. Buccaneers down by 3 points. 4th and 1. Peyton Barber injured, but still picks up the 1st down for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A couple plays later, Winston in the pocket will find his man. That is Chris Godwin on the outside, and he is tackled out of bounds right about the 8-yard line. The Panthers would get a field goal out of that possession, and the game is tied, and we are heading to overtime with a score of 17-17. Now we could get to the real gameplay action. To begin with, we will head down to the field to get the coin toss, and the Panthers have won the toss and elect to receive the ball. Finally, the actual gameplay is here, and let's get right to it. Pistol formation for the Panthers from the 28-yard line. That handoff goes to Christian McCaffrey, but he only picks up a gain of about 2. 3rd and 7 now for the Panthers. Newton in the pocket decides to take off to the right side of the field, picking up a first down and almost heading into field goal range for their kicker, and that is 4 rushes on the day for Cam Newton for 37 yards. 3rd and 6. The Panthers are in field goal range as long as they don't take a sack, and that pass is thrown incomplete, intended for Christian McCaffrey, but unfortunately it is just out of their kicker range, and they will punt the ball away. That ball lands inside the 20-yard line, and to be exact, 11-yard line. 2nd and 12 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jameis Winston looking for his receiver and then taken down for a sack right at the 3-yard line. K'Wan Shorts, that is his first full sack on the day. 3rd and 19 with their backs against the wall. Play clock winding down. Winston in the pocket, can't take a safety, and that one is thrown up, intended for Miller. That ball is battered around and finally drops to the ground. Bradley Pinion back there to punt for the Buccaneers. He gets the punt off, and that is a booming punt all the way on the Panthers side of territory, and that one is returned by Christian McCaffrey, but he only gains about 5 yards. 40-yard line now for the Panthers, and that pass is thrown towards the sideline for Greg Olsen, and he goes literally nowhere. Second play action, Cam Newton goes down for a sack coming off the edge. That is Devin White, a huge time play by a big-time player. Panthers faced with a 3rd and 19. Newton in the backfield, dropping back, wide open man, and that one is caught. That is caught by DJ Moore, foot race to the end zone, and that is a touchdown for the Panthers. And the Buccaneers are going to walk out of Carolina with a heartbreaking loss. 23-17 is the final score, and poor defensive coverage on that 3rd and long to give up that touchdown. Both teams played so hard, so it could have went 50-50. The Bucs were projected to lose this game, but they still had a good shot to win it. Jameis Winston has to do a better job of protecting the ball when he runs. It's not an issue with the interceptions, but he needs to hold on to the ball when he is running with it. The defense also played well, but unfortunately on that 3rd and long, they just broke down on the coverage and gave up that touchdown. That was an amazing pass by Cam Newton off his back foot to throw that ball about 50 to 60 yards and on point, and the speed by DJ Moore is what ultimately killed us. Panthers also had multiple attempts to end this game before the end of regulation. Their kicker missed multiple field goals, which sent us into overtime. The Panthers may want a new kicker, but for the Panthers, they become 1-1 on the season, while the Tampa Bay Buccaneers fall to 1-1 on the season. Jameis Winston didn't have himself a bad game. He threw 2 touchdowns and 173 yards. But after that game, we had some chats with our coaches and some of our players. Our offensive coordinator, he takes responsibility for this one, saying that he could not contain Luke Kuechly, but it was a team effort, so we can't blame him. Brashard Perriman, he seemed to be disappointed because he didn't get over 100 receiving yards or his 2 touchdowns. The Bucs also signed David Williams off the practice squad to replace Ronald Jones. The video is coming to an end, and I will see you guys later.